All right, so we're solving polynomial equations. So as you can see here, I've got a polynomial function, but find exactly the zeros of this polynomial means that we're looking for this polynomial here equal to 0. So most of the time when we're solving these, we solve these using our calculator. So the first method we're going to do is showing you with graph mode here. So what you do is you type this into your function, obviously remembering that you're going to be writing it in as y equals, because the graphics calculator only lets you type them in this mode, well, mainly lets you type it in this mode. You're then going to go to gsolve and roots, and this particular function has a few different roots that are big decimal places. Now, this one here, 0.667 when you do that. Now, pause the video if you haven't done this so you've got time to put it in calculator, graph mode, gsolve roots, and then unpause once you've got to this bit. Now, we get to this 0.667, which means x equals 2/3. This is the equivalent value. And I'm going to show you the more accurate way to do this in a minute. But this means that we either have x equals x minus 2/3 is a factor, or 3x minus 2. Now, this is usually preferred because we're not carrying through a fraction, we're not expanding a fraction. And in this particular one, if I put 3x minus 2 here, it's going to be good because realistically we're looking at here, our first term is a negative value here. Now, I'm just double checking something because, yeah, hang on a sec. I've actually carried that through wrong. That is not meant to, that's from our equal sign earlier. Okay, so we've got 3x cubed minus this. So in our next section, we're going to be putting in a quadratic. Now, if this coefficient didn't equal this coefficient, I would be putting in I would be writing in ax squared plus bx plus c. But because I know here, I know that this 3x times x squared is going to give me 3x cubed. That's fine. I also know this negative 2 here. I'm going to have a negative 1 at the end here for this to balance out. So now I've just got to go plus ax, and that's going to allow me to expand this. So here, we now expand this equation out, so we get 3x cubed plus 3ax squared minus 3x minus 2x squared minus 2ax plus 2. I'm just going to add these up so I can equate them. So I've got 3x cubed, and then I've got plus 3a minus 2x squared. Then my next one I've got plus negative 3, just checking that's right, negative 3x, negative 3 take 2ax, and then I've got plus 2 here. So we now equate coefficients, and so we've got here negative 3a take 2 and negative 3 take 2a. So we're going to put this one in first. So we've got 3a minus 2 is the coefficient of x squared, and so this is also the coefficient is negative 14. So we're going to add 2 to both sides. I get 3a equals negative 12. A should then equal negative 4. Let's check this in the next one. So negative 3 take 2a equals 5. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. I get negative 2a equals 8. A equals negative 4. So that's a big tick. We've got negative 4 there. So now we can put this back into its form that it was. So we're going to have, so far we've found this polynomial here once I do it. So copy, we'll paste that down here. And then this thing equals 3x minus 2 bracket x squared minus 4x minus 1. All right, now we could then use the quadratic formula for this next one. So this quadratic doesn't look like it would solve very well. So just as a method, we would go negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, which is going to equal -4 plus or minus the square root. -4 squared is 16 minus 4, 1 and -1 all over 2 times 1. So we're going to have 4 over 2 plus or minus square root 16 plus 4 is going to be 20. All right, and that's over 2. 4 over 2 is just 2 plus or minus square root of 20. I'm just going to do this over here. 20 is equal to square root of 4 and square root of 5. So if I do square root of 4, it's 2 root 5 over 2. They cancel out. And my answer is 2 plus or minus root 5. And that gives me my roots, which also gives me my factors. So that means this polynomial here would factorize to 3x minus 2 bracket x minus 2 plus root 5, and then x minus 2 minus root 5. And that would be my two factors, my factors of this and this. I've figured out all my roots here. Now, I'm just quickly going to come back up because this, while effective and shows us visually and is a skill we need, we can also use the graphics calculator equation mode. So if I type this equation in here, I go into the equation mode on the graphics. I go F2 for polynomial. I go degree 3 because it's a 3 degree, and I put in 3, -14, 5, and 2 into my polynomial. I click solve, and it gives me these values, and it will give me fractions, and it will give me complex numbers in this menu option. So it's given me the two values of plus or minus square root x. So this so it's given me 2/3 as 1. So this x equals 2 over 3 is 1, and then x plus. So this one here will be my smallest value, which will be -0.236. So this is x equals -2. And this factor here would give me x equals 4.236. But yeah, anyway, that's how we solve them using a bit of technology and what we know so far as well. Thanks, guys.